A man helped me see a corner of misogyny that I had not even considered. His name is Shane, and he reached out on social media because he has a podcast that is not very well known, but I loved the concept, which is to model healthy conversations between men and women, to show what it's like for a man to hold space in conversation for a woman respectfully. And what Shane said to me that was so mind-blowing, he said, look for the phrases men use that are universally shutting down of a conversation. And I was like, you're going to have to give me an example of that. So I said, what if I said, I feel like I'm carrying most of the mental load here. Can you please help me out? The example he gave back was, even better, ... Even better, why don't we go out to dinner? I'm shutting down your request and we're moving on to a different subject. And ever since he gave that example, I can't stop finding phrases that are something someone can say that just invalidates everything and we move on. Anything related to sensitivity, you're overthinking it, you're overly emotional, you're being dramatic. It basically communicates you are being over the top while I am being centered, when really communicating emotions and communicating observations just speaks to an overall high level of sensitivity. So a phrase that's meant to shut those things down is basically like, if you are sensitive, it is bad. Another one is, why can't you take a joke? Why can't you lighten up? If you go back to especially the early 2000s, the movies that I loved, American Pie, Euro Trip, some of the great comedy movies of that time, they are so filled with misogyny. And it is horrifying to us in 2025. But it was misogyny under the guise of telling a joke. And as a lover of comedy, I hate to admit this, but when you make it okay to joke about a thing, it also subtly makes it okay to do those things, unfortunately. This happens with jokes of all kinds, not just women, anti-Semitic jokes, trans jokes. Our best comedians can walk that line with surgical precision, and to some extent, it is the job of comedy to ride that line. But unfortunately, those jokes make it okay for less good comedians to say really racist, homophobic, misogynistic things. I found out these phrases are called thought-terminating cliches, and they happen a lot inside close cultures. So I've been in recovery for 14 years. What does someone say in a meeting when they want to invalidate another person? They'll say something like, keep coming back. Now, sometimes that phrase can be said positively, but in this use case, it's being used to say, whatever you just said is strange. And you should keep coming back to figure out how to talk. The podcast is called If Men Can't Listen To, and I'll tag it in the description because I think Shane is really amazing.